Well, one of the things, Andrew, that we're gonna talk about, me and you, is in the future is and Adam Greentree as well. We want to get out and we want to do a video out in the bush and
Right.
a bit of a survival thing. I don't know how that's going to go because, mate, I fucking hate camping. I hate it. I hate camping.
Yeah.
I despise it. That feeling of waking up in the morning in a hot tent and you're sweating and it stinks.
Yeah, right.
It just shits me. Like there's nowhere to hang it.
So it's a comfort thing.
Yeah, I like being comfortable. Oh,
Right.
I don't like sleeping on rocks. I got a Posturepedic for a reason, right? I got a memory foam pillow. It's all happening at my joint. I got it all going down.
Gotcha. I don't know. Well, it's one of those things. Like it won't be hard for you to transition. I feel like a couple of nights sleeping on some rough matting, and after a while, I don't know, you'll just adapt to it. I guess that's just how it happens. But it would be interesting to have you out there, like chasing some animals down, like like a feral pig or trying to rope something. I think that would be interesting. But look, like so I run tours on the in the seasons, right? And it's interesting to see. Like I'll take people out that have had no natural skill sets or no real abilities out there in the wild, and it's interesting just to see them change over the course of like a week. And I kid you not, like just to see their confidence change. And I think inherently what happens is when they watch me go out and catch animals and stuff, once again, they're watching me and they're like, fuck, maybe I can do that. You know what I mean? And it's interesting. Like I feel like if you saw me go out there and catch a snake or a goanna or something like that, you'd take a step back and be like, you know what? Like what he just did isn't impossible. As humans, we're very observant. We can identify like simple skills and work off that. It's I don't think it would take too long to get you to a point where you'd be fucking amazing out there. Quite literally, and that's being honest.
I agree. But surely catching snakes and all that type of stuff, you've got to have some injuries must have happened. How many times have you been bitten by snakes? Countless?
Look, I've only ever had one real bad bite, and I was 13 years old. I got bit by a black snake on the hand, trying to catch it. And then apart from that, I had a bit of a situation when I was and there's footage of it, when I was in Mombasa, which is on the coast of Kenya, where I caught a spitting cobra and it sprayed me in the face. And what had happened that morning, this really sucked, is for continuity, like I'd had a shave. Like, so every single day I'd have a shave. So I looked the same during filming. And essentially what had happened was I had glasses on, but when this cobra spat in my face, obviously the venom like covered my face. Yeah. And because I'd shaved that morning, my pores were essentially still open. I'd absorbed a small amount of venom through my pores. So that was absolutely fucking terrifying because Kenya doesn't exactly have the best like medical resources, let alone anti-venom availability. So that was a pretty
What do you do in that situation? What starts happening?
Sit down and fucking just relax, I guess, Like,
cup of tea.
I don't know. Yeah, sit down, have a cigar. No, like, look, I know it's hard to backpedal with a lot of the footage that I do because people would watch it and be like, fuck, this cunt's insane. Like, he's fucking crazy. But having said that, like, you've got to be really calculated as well. Like, the amount of times I could have died would be fucking countless. I could have died hundreds of times, literally. You do have to be calculated, and the only way to be calculated is to, have a lot of experience in working with these animals. And I guess that's just what I've dedicated my life to doing. But there is a red line. You know what I mean? There is a red line. And it's one of those things that's kind of like when Steve Irwin accidentally passed away. Everyone was like, oh, sooner or later it was going to fucking happen, or it's going to be like a rogue accident like this. And unfortunately, when you are in nature and you're dealing with animals that can be somewhat unpredictable, there are accidents that happen. And look, I know guys which are deemed as some of the best professionals in the world, experts, and they've been caught out, and they've been on the deathbed or in the ICU and all that kind of thing. So it is living life on the edge, and sometimes you can fall off.
But I mean, if you're getting bit by a snake and you're picking it up, it's the same as how many close calls do you have in a car? Like, there's always that opportunity where you look the wrong way or whatever, and you go, oh, fuck, that was close. The same as a snake going for you. I mean, obviously, it's a decision that you've made to pick up something that's definitely going to kill you other than jumping in the vehicle to go to the shops. But
Right.
Still,
Gotcha.
I mean, you've decided to get in the vehicle and go to the shop. So it's we. I guess we. What I'm saying is, we take calculated risks all the time, and it's the same with some sports and contact sports and all that type of stuff. You go play footy or whatever, you go onto the field knowing that you could get injured severely, or you could break a leg or whatever, and you do it anyway. A life without calculated risks is a very boring existence.
Exactly. Well, something interesting, right? And you're going to be like, "There's no fucking way." But I actually have two fears, and I mean, like, I'm really fucking nervous about them. It makes me feel really uneasy. So I'm terrified of flying. I fucking hate flying because, and to take a step back and look at the psychology behind it, it's because I have no fucking control. It's got nothing to do with the fact, well, I guess it's a lot to do with the fact that you're 25,000 feet above the ground in a cylindrical fucking tube, and if something goes wrong, you're fucking dead. That's obviously a large part of it. But I think the greater part of it is if something starts going wrong, I can't fucking do anything. I've got to put a fucking seatbelt on. I know I'm going to die, and there's nothing I can do to secure or prolong my existence on Earth. I'm fucking dead. That plane starts going down, I'm fucking dead. And that is absolutely terrifying to me. So I hate flying.
But that was me for many years. I couldn't deal with flying. I had people when I was in year, for my 18th birthday, try and buy me plane tickets just so I could get over my fear. It was an irrational fear too. I was just scared. I'd never done it. And I was just like, no, man, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do it. And it got to the point where my first flight was to Melbourne with my partner, and we just went down there, and it was scary. And, you take off and we're freaking out. We're going, oh, this doesn't make sense. Why are we slowly rising? This is fucking weird.
Right.
Seriously, as a kid, I watched too much Air Crash Investigation. That freaked me out, man. That was one of those things. Like, you were just used to, but as you said, you can't control it. It was the same for me when I was a kid. I was terrified of comets. I heard on the news one day they were talking about a comet, right? I would have been 5 years old. And then I was out. My mum was hanging the clothes on the washing line at night because it was hot. And a shooting star went over. This prick goes and hides under the pool table for about an hour and a half. I was fucking terrified. I thought it was all over. But I got over the fear of flying by, I guess, just doing it all the time. I have to do it. For my job, every when I'm on tour, I'm flying, 4 flights a week. So it's just eventually you just go, oh fuck, I'm too tired to give a shit at the moment. But I get it. I get why it freaks you out. I get it. It's weird. It's not natural.
It's like well, it's not. It's not natural. It's like you're accepting this this pathway to death if it does unfold. And I think spiders. I don't know what you like with spiders. It's funny because I feel like in the natural world, people are scared of like one of several things. They're either scared of snakes, right? Because they're unpredictable in the way that they move and they're venomous. They don't have any legs, right? People are scared of sharks. Why? Because the ocean identifies a place which is mysterious and dark and deep, and you don't know what's below you, right? And fair enough,
they're giant monsters
with sharp fucking teeth designed to consume us, right? People scared of birds because of the way that they flutter and move around. And spiders. Like, I've always had an intense fucking fear of spiders because, a spider can go from like 0 to 100. You can't predict which way it's going to move. It can be here, it can be there. It can be, you know what I mean? Like, I think the sense of fear in that is not to do with the bite of the spider. It's to do with the fact I can't predict what the fuck it's going to do.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's fucking terrifying. Fucking hate them.
For me, I don't like spiders. I don't like snakes. I don't like a lot of things. But for me, cockroaches freak me the fuck out. I cannot deal with cockroaches. I fucking hate cockroaches. I've slept in a particular hotel and a cockroach crawled in my mouth in the middle of the night. That fucking just fucked me. I've had them on my shoulders. Not all the time, just once. But it's a horrible thing. And cockroaches are terrible creatures. They shouldn't exist, and they shit me to tears.
100%. And well, I feel like that fear can also be instilled. Like, I feel like spiders, that fear came from my mum. Like, fucking screaming when I was in the bath. So I remember she was washing me. I was about 4 years old. I was in the bath, and a huntsman's fallen from the wall and went into the water. So obviously, mum starts screaming. I'm in the fucking bath with this fucking huntsman, and it can't climb out because it's like trying to climb up the sides of the fucking bath. And I'm stuck with this big, hairy fucking creature. that instills
That's
fear.
what my
and people
missus
don't
feels
forget-
like when I jump in the bath with her.
Well,
Just a big hairy creature. Get out, you creep. Like any fear, you can track it back. Like my ma, she's terrified of mice because my pop caught a mouse and like its head was off or whatever, and he chased her around the house with the fucking mouse, and she's shit scared of it. 50 years later, she's terrified of the bastards.